Hey Conspiracy, welcome to the Learned Lemur channel and another Learned episode. I'm John and today we're talking skulls. Skulls make a great addition to any collection, so let's figure out how to pick the perfect one. Skulls are a really popular part of any collection, and as with most things we talk about on here, there are some really important details to pay attention to when considering quality and aesthetic. Whether you're just starting out or have been collecting for a while, let's make sure you get the best skull at the right price. The skulls we'll be talking about today are mostly small mammals, but these tips apply to all skull sizes, species, and some can even be applied to human skulls. Once you've figured out your own personal ethics, which we discussed in episode 1, it's time to go looking for skulls. When shopping for skulls, one of the things I look at first are the teeth. Are the teeth missing? Are the teeth broken? If so, I'd expect to pay a little bit lower price for that skull. You also want to make sure it's not greasy. Grease is easily spotted by a semi-transparent discoloration, like a paper bag with french fries in it. Grease is bad for a couple of reasons. Aside from being a little unsightly, it can spread and carry a nasty odor. It also collects dust and dirt over time and can make a skull look a little gross. But it's not all bad. A greasy skull can still be cleaned up, and if you happen to score a really good skull at a really good price, it can be worth a little extra work to add an awesome, affordable skull to your collection. Next, we want to figure out how the skull is processed. Just like wet specimens we talked about in episode 2, there are a couple of ways to prepare a skull, and not all of them are equal. Some can even cause damage. One of the most common methods of cleaning for beginners is boiling. If you're just starting out cleaning skulls, boiling isn't all bad. It's an inexpensive and easy way to process a skull on your own. If you're buying a skull that's been boiled, you should expect to pay a discounted rate. Some things to look for with boiling are separating sutures, cracked or chipping teeth, deep set grease, and even some dried meat inside the skull. You may even notice an odor, as boiling a skull can cause meat particles to get deep inside the bone that are difficult to get out. Most boiled skulls will also have missing sinuses, as they cannot be boiled out. They have to be removed by force with a pair of pliers or even a knife. Another method of cleaning skulls is with nature. Some sellers let maggots, birds, and small mammals do the work for them. This can produce some great skulls, but probably not grade A skulls. Some things to look for with nature cleaning are chewing damage from birds and mice, missing teeth, and greasy spots. If a skull has any of these issues, it's not grade A and you shouldn't be paying grade A prices. Maceration is a common method for cleaning skulls. This involves letting the meat rot off in buckets of water. It's a really smelly and long process that can produce some amazing quality skulls. However, this process can damage bone and cause skulls to fall apart. Some things to look for are missing and cracked teeth, glued sections of skull or jaw, and as always, greasy spots. The best way to clean skulls, in my opinion, is with beetles. Here at the Learned Lemur, we employ about 1 million dermestid beetles to remove the flesh from our skulls. Dermestids eat only the flesh and cartilage, leaving even the smallest, most delicate bones intact. This is one of the very best ways to get a perfect grade A skull every time. Some issues to look for with beetle cleaning are missing teeth, mismatched jaws, and again, greasy spots. Not all skulls are equal, and they shouldn't be priced equally either. Inexperienced sellers will commonly just Google a skull, see they sell for $50, mark it down without paying any attention to quality or condition. Some sellers might not even bother to look it up. We paid $50 for this coyote skull at an antique mall from a seller that had no idea what they were doing. Aside from the fact that this is a crazy high price to charge even for a perfect coyote skull, the condition of this skull is just above craft grade in my opinion. At the Learned Lemur, we would sell this skull from $15 to $18. You can see the deep set grease and missing sinuses. This skull also has a nasty smell to it. The grease and odor can be fixed, but the missing sinuses and the price can't. I'd personally walk away from this one. Discoloration is another thing to look for, but this can be tricky. Perfectly white skulls can be eye-catching, but bone isn't perfectly white. It has been made white with a chemical process. Natural bone actually has a grayish-brown color to it, and it can be really beautiful. If it doesn't look or feel greasy and has all of its teeth, it can be a great eye-catching addition to your collection. Some sellers even stain their skulls to recreate this patina. Skulls are a unique and amazing part of any collection, but it can be tricky to find the perfect one. Hopefully these tips can help you navigate inexperienced and scammy sellers and lead you to a skull that's as unique and perfect as your collection. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to ask any questions we didn't cover in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm John from the Learned Lemur, and keep it weird, conspiracy.
Maggots.
I moved around. I was feeling it. Are you sure you didn't want me to have more coffee?
Maggots.
Next, we want to figure out how the... Prepared? Is prepared or processed better? Hive mind. How the skull was prepared, how the skull was processed. Probably processed.
Yeah. I'd say processed.
Yeah, processed? Okay.
Processed, I think.
All right. Next, we want to figure out how the skull was prepared. Fuck you both! I think your feedback sucked.
Maggots.
One of the most common methods for cleaning for beginners is boiling. I'll give you a couple.
Maggots.
Maceration is a common method for cleaning skulls. This involves rotting... Gross. It's so gross.
Maggots.
Let's go through that again. That wasn't bad, but let's go through it again.
Thanks. That positive feedback really helps.
Maggots.
Sell this skull from $15 to $18. Boom! Made Daddy Randall proud.